Alright, so I'm doing the mass to mass stoichiometry worksheet 1. Now this worksheet 1 is come from unbalanced chemical equation. It means that I will give you equation not balanced, but at least I give you the product. You want to get me, like if I give you one mass, can you find the other mass? And again, this is like not necessarily like reactant to product, product to reactant. Can be any combination, can be reactant to reactant, product to reactant, back and forth, okay? So the first step is you want to balance the equation to get the molar ratio, and then you want to write down your molar ratio, mole of given, mole of want, okay? So how many moles given, how many moles you want. That come from the molar ratio, that actually come from the coefficient. And then you want to find the mm of given, mm of want, which is very easy. And then the next step is this is a strategy map is if I give you, if you look up like right here, mole given to mole want, we are doing MR. So this is what we learned from mole. Mole given to mole want, we're using MR. This is like we learned before from like gram to mole, we're using MM. Here we learned it before from mole to gram, we're also using MM. So we actually combine everything. So here's the example. How many grams of lithium nitrate would be needed to make 250 grams of lithium sulfate? So the first, I will give you equation so that you go ahead to balance and you recognize that this is double displacement. So, double displacement, single displacement, or the combustion, they have different way of balancing and you have to predict the product on worksheet 2. So you need to know what kind of reaction. After that, I balance them. I want to go ahead to write down my strategy map. Okay, so I write down, I was given 250 grams of lithium sulfate, and I'm looking for question mark lithium nitrate. So in this case, I cannot go from gram to gram because gram to gram, I have no direct relationship. So I have to change from gram to mole, and then from mole to mole, and then mole back to gram. So what I need to do is I will change since I have the gram of lithium sulfate, I need to also find the mm of lithium sulfate because from gram and molecular mass, I can find the moles of lithium sulfate. And in the middle, I'm gonna using MR from moles to mole, MR. And then how can I find the gram of lithium nitrate? I have to change from moles to gram using mm of LiNO3. So you want to draw the strategy from what you're given to what you want in this direction. Now sometimes the direction will be the other way, so you have to be careful what you're given. That is the beginning. What you want is the ending. You draw the strategy. And then you can start to write number A, the letter A, MR will be 2 lithium sulfate, which is what you want, which is what you're given, 4 moles of NiNO3. And then next is I need this 2 mm, so I go ahead to calculate that. And then the last step is set up Superman. So you follow the step, you say, okay, I start with 250 grams of Li2SO4. Then I'm going to use my mm of Li2SO4. My mm, which is here, 109.94 gram per mole, Li2SO4. So this will be 1 mole have how many grams? Now again, how do you know which one is on the bottom? I want to cancel my gram of lithium sulfate. So gram lithium sulfate must be on the bottom and mole will be on the top. This is my mm of Li2SO4, right? This is my mm. And then from the strategy map, once I get to mm, I will go to MR. So my MR reaches here, 2 to 4. Now which one is 2 moles and 4 moles, okay? Molar ratio. So which ones go to the bottom again? I want to cancel my mole and then Li2SO4. So 2 mole will be on the bottom, 4 moles LiNO3 will be on the top. So then I cancel the moles and Li2SO4. Then when I get to the last step, I want to get to the mole, I want to use my mm of LiNO3. So I'm going to put my mm of NiNO3. And again, my mole will be on the bottom so I can cancel. All the unit and all the necessary compound, they are the same diagonally and they can be canceled. I can have gram left over. So you weigh out the math here. Now you need to be careful. Some people punching calculator wrong. Use the punching calculator, 250 times 1 times 4 times 68.95 divided by 109.94 divided by 2 divided by 1. Here the 2 is on the bottom, is divided by 2, not multiplied by 2. Okay, so on the top, divided, and then on the top, multiply, and then divided. Now, some people, they choose to divide everything on the top. I'm sorry, some people choose to multiply everything on the top, multiply anything on the bottom, and then you rewrite it, and then you make division. That could be in one way, but that way, like, you have to do like a little bit more step. So what I would do is just multiply everything and then divide everything on the bottom, and then you round to two places, number, unit, what it is. Okay, so let's look up the example here. All right, so first I know that this is a combustion, so I balance according to combustion strategy, and this is even number, so I put 2 in the front and then CHO, so 2746. I follow what I was given. I was given 45 grams C2H6, and I'm looking for how many grams of CO2. Now from gram to gram, I cannot go directly. I have to draw the map. So I have to use ml of C2H6. I have to find the ml of CO2, and then I draw the map from what I given to what I want in this direction, and then the middle will be MR. So my MR will be how many moles versus how many moles of one, how many moles of given versus how many moles of want. So 2 moles of C2H6, 4 moles of CO2. And then my MM, for the 2 MM, I calculate right here. Okay? And then I'm going to set up the Superman. So I follow the map. I set 45 grams of C2H6. And then my map say I want MM. So this is my MM of C2H6. 30.08, and then my map say I want my MR, so my MR is the mole thing, molar ratio, so I have to put the moles on, right? And then I want to cancel my unit, I want to cancel my mole, I want to cancel my compound, and then when I get to the step here, I need my mn of CO2, so I'm going to put mn of CO2, and again, how do you know which one is on the top, which is on the bottom, is are you able to cancel the number, are you able to cancel the unit, are you able to cancel the compound? So these two things, diagonally the same thing. And then you write out the math, and be careful, this is divided by 2, not multiplied by 2, and then you round it to 2 places.